Hi everyone, it's me, Jack, Mr. Excitement, the Hoosier hippie for obvious reasons. I'm posting these videos to help you to become a little bit more informed before you decide to visit the Philippines. And for those of you that have already made that transition or are really thinking of making that transition to move here, I want to help you make that a little bit smoother. Now, what you'll find in my videos is my honest outlook and opinions about the Philippines. The one thing I will tell you is the Philippines is not for everyone. It may be my idea of paradise, but it may not be yours. Hopefully you can use my videos to help make that decision for yourself. So let's get right into it. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about visas and what to expect when you get here. Now, when you're flying into the Philippines, especially Cebu, you're going to need a few things before you get here. And just as a side note, I would very strongly recommend flying in Cebu over the Manila Airport, NAIA, the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. The reason being is they are in the process of renovating that airport, and I understand that it is a real pain in the butt to get through. It's a little bit easier to get and a little bit less frustrating to get through Mactan Cebu International. So, fly here if you can. But when you do get here, you're going to need a few things prior to leaving. You're going to need your e-travel form completed and the QR code copied to your phone. You're going to need your passport, obviously. You're going to need a departure ticket. And what I mean by a departure ticket is not from the U.S. to here or wherever you're flying from to here, but a departure ticket from the Philippines to somewhere else. If you're not buying a round-trip ticket, or your round-trip ticket is more than 29 days out from your arrival date, then you're going to need to have something called an onward ticket. And what that is it's a reservation ticket showing that you have reserved a flight to leave the country. It's dirt cheap. You get it at www.onwardticket.com. It runs about $16 to $20, and you just have to have that. Especially if you're buying a one-way ticket. A round-trip ticket, you can have your round-trip ticket as well, but if it's more than 29 days out, you'll still need the onward ticket because that's required for entering their country. Most airlines won't let you onto the plane if you aren't either a round-trip ticket holder or if you don't have that onward ticket. And then you want to have that e-travel form completed. You go up. They may or may not ask you for either of those things at customs. Why? Because when they scan your passport, all that stuff shows up on their screen. This is a developing country. It doesn't mean they're backwards and run things on steam and coal. They have a very good IT infrastructure here. And one of the places where they're spending a lot of money on that is on immigration. They're having a lot of problems with overstays and illegal operators here, so they have really poured money into that to make it very, very modern. So if you buy a one-way ticket, make sure you have that onward ticket because the airline can deny you passage unless you can show the onward ticket and you buy it a day before you leave wherever you're going from. In my case, it was the U.S. Or you have, if you're going to be a digital nomad and hopping from country to country, have another ticket showing that you're going to leave prior to your 29 days being up to go to that other country. Now, if you're staying in the Philippines with a one-way ticket, buy the onward ticket before leaving home. Schedule the onward ticket for a day before your visa ends. And keep it with your passport. Now, when you arrive in the Philippines, you currently have 29 days, a 29-day visa from your date of arrival. Let's say you're arriving on May 1st. But if you're arriving on May 1st at 11:45 at night, your arrival date is still May 1st. It's not May 2nd. Your arrival date starts on May 1st, so you have until May 29th to leave the country. So you burned up 23 hours and 45 minutes of your day of arrival. So you need to ask the agent, when does my visa expire? And when they tell you, immediately put that into your phone calendar, because it's going to be very important that you don't overstay and that you get your visa renewed beforehand. You can extend it for another 30 days, and then you can extend it for another 60 days. However, I would recommend that you go in 2 weeks before your visa expires and no more than a week, or no later than a week before your visa expires. And there's a reason for that. You're going to need another onward ticket. Each time that visa is going to expire, you're going to need another onward ticket. And you have to buy that onward ticket a week before that visa expires, so that you're leaving on or the day before that visa expires. So the other reason is, in many places in the Philippines, they want to reduce the last minute rush to get visas and the impatience and the frustration and everything else. They will tell you to go in 2 weeks early so that you can file all your paperwork and then come back and pick up the extension. However, according to several expats in my group, they're charging the what do they call it? The expedited visa automatically. So that means you're going to get your paperwork right there, because here in Cebu, where they have the BI office, they don't have the facilities to hold on to your paperwork until you come pick it up. So they're just going to automatically charge you for that expedited visa. It's an extra 1,000 pesos. So your first renewal is going to cost you a little over 3,000 pesos. So that expedited is going to cost you 17, 18 bucks, and then another $34 to $36 to renew your visa. As long as you get there early in the morning, excuse me, they open the doors to the G Mall at 9 a.m. The mall doesn't open until 10, but you go up there, you can go up to the second floor and go to the Bureau of Immigration office to start that. I would plan at least an hour to get through it. The earlier you get there, the quicker you get the paperwork signed up and handed in, the faster that you're going to get through that. But if you get there after 10 o'clock, plan on 2 hours. Okay? And it's the same process for your 2-month renewal. You need to buy an onward ticket at least a week in advance of renewing your visa. Buy for the day that your visa expires or the day before. And right now you can renew over and over again for about 36 months. However, at your second renewal, you'll need to apply for an ACR ID card, and that's required, and it's an extra fee as well. I would check with the Bureau of Immigration's website, and that's the Philippine Bureau of Immigration's website, for the total time that you can stay, or look for YouTube videos that have been done by immigration attorneys here in the Philippines that will keep you up to date on changes in policy, and there have been a lot of changes to the rules lately. Keep abreast of that. Now, when you're here, what do? Well, you are going to do one of several things. You're either going to decide, okay, I want to make Cebu my home base for when I travel around. That way I can leave 90% of my junk in my hotel room or in my Airbnb room, and I can travel off to either different islands, or I can go to different countries and check them out. As far as Cebu is concerned, or any of the islands here actually, to seek out the attractions, best people to ask are the taxi drivers. They can tell you all the places that you want to go to, and they will tell you about all the festivals that are happening. And if you like the taxi driver and you have a nice, clean, modern car that has good air conditioning, they are probably a good person to ask, how much do you charge to drive me around all day? It should be somewhere between 3,000 and 6,000 pesos for the day, depending on where you want to go. But for that price, you can go anywhere on the island, anywhere. You can ask the locals, where do I go around here and how do I get there? They may tell you, go visit Fort San Pedro and go to the Colón Market and then the barracks for lunch, and then go to the Basilica Santo Niños for the afternoon and go to the museums that are there, and go visit the Cross of Magellan and see the sites around old Cebu there. Another one may tell you, take a taxi up to the Taoist temple up in a neighborhood, believe it or not, called Beverly Hills. Or you may want to go up to the Temple of Leon. If you decide you want to go to the highest point in Cebu, it's called Tops of Cebu. You can go to the Ayala Mall in the IT park, and across from the Ayala Mall is a bus station, and you look for a bus that has Tops on the side of it. 200 pesos gets you on the bus up to Tops, pays your entry fee, and pays your trip back. Now you have to go back to the bus station. You can't get off anywhere. But it's a nice trip up there. You can either pack yourself a lunch and bring it with you, or there are dozens of restaurants up there, and you can eat up there and just sit up there all day long, especially if you're here during the hotter months, which May, June, July are going to be very hot. And that's much cooler up there. The air's cleaner. You can spend the entire day up there. Buses start at around 6 in the morning and they stop at 3 in the morning. So literally you can spend all day there. Also, if you know the cities you're going to, or if you know the provinces you're going to, or you know the barangay that you're going to, look them up on Facebook. And they will list all the festivals going on, all the attractions going on. And you can ask other expats, where do you go? What's there to see? And they'll ask you, well, what are your interests? And you'll get more information that way than you will from any expat groups on Facebook. Those are filled mainly with people that have never been here and have no idea. You can also visit different islands. You can go visit different cities. If you're going to cities that are further away, like Manila or Davao or CDO, you may want to fly there. Going by air is the fastest way to travel, as long as it's a longer distance. Give you an idea, Manila is about 450 miles away. Davao is about 400 miles away. So obviously you're going to want to go there by air. Airlines are the fastest way to travel. Cebu Pacific is the airline of choice for most people going to different cities on the islands, but it's also the most expensive. It's going to cost you 2 to 3 times more than the ferries. And on the short hops, it really doesn't save you that much time. If you're going from Cebu to Dumaguete, or Cebu to Tagbilaran, or Cebu to Ormoc, you're not going to save any time taking an airline. In fact, in some cases, it may actually take you more time, because after you get through the you have to get to the airport, go through security, check your bags. You have to get down to the airline, get on the airline. It waits, it takes off, it lands. You have to go get your bags, and you have to go out and find a taxi and go to your hotel room. So the ferries may be a more relaxing way to do that. First class on ferries usually runs somewhere between 1,600 and 2,000 pesos per person. Tourist class, which is still air conditioned but the seats aren't as comfortable, runs about 1,100 pesos to 1,500 pesos depending on where you're going. And then there's the non-tourist class. It's open air. and it's usually on the back of the ferry, and it's out in the open. It's very good for fresh air. It's, you know, the air-conditioned areas tend to be really cold. I wear a jacket in there, whereas in the outdoor ones, you get a fresh breeze coming through from the ferry moving at 30 knots. So that's the way to go to nearby islands. If you're going to Palawan, if you're going to Manila, you're going to faraway places, go by air, and then go visit some of the other countries as well. You have Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, Kuala Lumpur, Indonesia, just to name a few places to go. Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia. Visit those countries and enjoy things. You can even go to Japan and enjoy different cultures. And by bouncing around like that, you find out what has the best vibe for you. You may find that Thailand is a better vibe for you, especially if you're younger. If you're my age, you might find the Philippines, or you might find Vietnam more of a place to stay. All of them are inexpensive in their own way. All of them have their good points and their bad points. But when you go there, if you go to different countries, take notes, take videos, and make Facebook reports on where you went and what you saw. And then when you get back home and you have to make the decision, okay, where do I want to retire? You can go through all those and figure out which one suited your vibe the best. Because like I said, Philippines is not for everyone. So thank you for watching. And if you have more specific questions, please put them in the comments, and I'll see what I can do to either answer them or make a video about it. And again, my name is Jack. I'm Mr. Excitement. I know I'm boring on these videos. I'm also known as the Hoosier Hippie, and I've hoped I've helped you in your journey to find a perfect retirement spot, whether it's here in Cebu, elsewhere in the Philippines, or wherever you decide to retire in Southeast Asia. Now, if you are in Cebu and you plan on staying here or moving here soon, I have an expat group that meets every Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for brunch, coffee, and fellowship. We will provide you with information about life and living in the Philippines, and most especially about living in Cebu. Now, the information comes from a variety of expats that actually live here. That's the difference between my group and a lot of the other expat groups that are on Facebook. They have thousands and thousands of members, and 90% of those members have never been here, never been out of their home country, and they're keyboard warriors out there having a fun time giving you misinformation. We have 4 to 6 expats that are regulars with an average attendance of 12 to 20 people each Tuesday morning, and some are new to Cebu and the Philippines, and some have lived here for quite a while. And they can provide you with a great deal of accurate advice and insights to help you ease your transition here. And so if you're a Cebu expat, or if you've just moved here, or you're planning to move here in the next 12 months, please feel free to join. We are the Metro-Cebu Expat Meetup, and Meetup is 2 words with a dash, group. So the Metro-Cebu Expat Meetup group, I'll put a link down below for that. And if you join, we'll let you in, as long as you answer all the questions, agree to the rules, and let us know when you're going to be here or if you are here. Also, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, so that you don't miss any more videos. I've got a ton of them coming. And that's all I have for you today. Peace, harmony, and safe travels, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.